General Yohana. And today's topic is the natural disasters and the Feast of Trumpets. And particularly talking about the war trumpets. Okay, when the Most High, when he sends these natural disasters, what he's doing is he's declaring war. He's declaring war against all the nations that have fought against his people, to destroy his people, out of spite towards the Most High. But see, here's the thing though, because the Most High is going to deliver this nation that all these other nations hate. You see what I'm saying? And he's using these earthquakes and using all of these natural disasters and all of this stuff that's happening. He's using this stuff to show them how much beasts and monsters they've been to the Lord's people. But see, here's the thing though. Esau himself is so full of damn pride and all of that. He won't heed he's not heeding the signs. He's not paying attention to the signs for real. He's coming up to challenge the Most High is what he's really doing. And that's one of the things that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is going to have to figure out. That's the reason why, as soon as a natural disaster hits, and Israel is in a situation where we're needing help, right? What does he do? Let me tell you what he does. He uses that as an opportunity to start to kill off the nation that he blames for the natural disasters, without telling them though that they're the nation that he blames for the natural disasters. And without telling you, of course, that you are the Lord's people, of course. This stuff is well thought out of him, you know what I'm saying? So when something hits, he's right there. You know what I'm saying? He's right there to give you an ultimatum, whether you're going to choose food or the woman's going to choose to have a baby. You see what I'm saying? Right after some type of natural disaster, earthquake or whatever, he's there to do that. He's there to say, abort your children so you can eat. You see what I'm saying? Because as we say in every class, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, what we're going to go into, let's go into these details about Haman. All right? Let's see, we'll go at Esther chapter 3. And we'll start at the first verse. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Now, when you go into the history of the Bible, right, Haman was an Agagite. Agag was a top king of the Amalekites. Means his seed would bear rule in Amalek, right? All right. So he had been now King Artaxerxes, who was king of all the earth at this time, advanced him and made him his right-hand man. Because they've always been a real slick people when it comes to deceiving nations and things like that. I gotta say, they are masters at the craft. They have done deceived nations and done, they can play all type of shape shifting. They can do any type of witchcraft and deception it is out there. Haman, being as evil as he is, was able to be the second highest ranking man over all the earth. Now think about this for a second. Now, his chief enemy, of course, is the Jews. You see what I'm saying? If Haman was alive and walking the earth right now, Haman would be Jewish. Not only would he be Jewish though, he would be in the same bloodline as the elites. You see what I'm saying? Haman himself also was a Macedonian. And he will be listed in that same bloodline right there of the elite Grecians up on the earth. He was also in close relation to Alexander and all of them. Before they were calling themselves the Jewish people. This was this man Haman right here. Macedonia is on the come up at this time. But the Medes and the Persians is still ruling. The Macedonians is highly respected. They started to be highly respected after that whole thing with, King Philip and Alexander the Greek. So they're on the come up. And Haman, being a renowned man and of chief bloodline there, now he's making an alliance because King of Xerxes was the type of man that would try and make an alliance with the chief people of everybody on the earth to try and keep the peace on the earth. Which wasn't a foolish move. Which was, even King David made peace with heathen nations and everything so that the reign and everything, because he didn't want to have to slaughter them all. You see what I'm saying? All the damn time. He didn't want to have to he wanted to rule the earth in peace, which any real wise king would want to do. You see what I'm saying? Any wise king would want to rule the earth in peace. But at the same damn time, though, he going to handle the issue when it come up. You see what I'm saying? Just like us today in the Isupk. We're at a level of peace with white people because we're not out killing white people or anything like that. We're not out hurting and harming them or anything like that. We're not doing any of that. You see what I'm saying? But if things come down to it, we will defend ourselves. Please believe that. Now let's get into the scriptures. After these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Now, think about this for a second. Now, Mordecai didn't do this thing. Mordecai didn't bow down to the king. Well, bow down to Haman. And that was a decree that came out from the king, right? Because he knew that this man was a wicked, evil man. Mordecai being a strong black brother of the tribe of Benjamin, he wasn't getting ready to bow down to no damn Amalekite, to no damn Jewish man. You see what I'm saying? Even though it was a decree of the king. But see, here's the thing though. Because we have a king, we are supposed to operate as a separate empire within an empire. You see what I'm saying? A separate nation within a land full of a bunch of nations. We're supposed to operate as a separate people. What Mordecai was doing here is he was being a holy nation, which means separate from every other nation on the face of the planet. You see what I'm saying? That's why Mordecai did not bow, even though it was a decree that came from the king. You see what I'm saying? Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them. Means they kept coming in. Why ain't you bowing down to what the king say? Why ain't you to the king's commandment? Why ain't you bowing down to that? And Mordecai, he keeps telling them every day, look, I don't worship the king. You see what I'm saying? I serve this king. My people was brought into captivity up under the Babylonians. Now the Medes and the Persians are ruling, but we still have a king, and our king is the Most High, right? Because you ain't supposed to be bowing down and worshiping, no heathen. Or no man, period, as far as that goes. You see what I'm saying? What you're supposed to be doing is bowing down and worshiping the Most High. This is the thing that makes us separate when we're in an enemy's land, because they're going to come up with laws that are going to transgress what the Most High say. And one of the very first, as a matter of fact, the very first commandment of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt have no other gods before me. You see what I'm saying? So now Haman is starting to be looked at as a god upon the earth, which is the precursor to what the white man being worshipped right now. You see what I'm saying? Everybody that bowed down to Haman is worshiping Haman right now. You see what I'm saying? They bow down to the image of white Jesus, which is also, in a sense, the image of Haman also, but because he's of that bloodline too. Now, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. He came real. He's like, look, you know, I'm an Israelite. Nigga, I'm of the nation of Israel. Yeah, he came boldly then. Because, of course, you know, back at that time, we had to kind of borderline hide who we were. You see what I'm saying? Because every nation was our enemies. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman was full of wrath. Because the white man, he can't stand when when a Negro don't reverence him. You see what I'm saying? When a Negro don't reverence the white man just gets real pissed. You see what I'm saying? Because he, in his mind, you're supposed to be so far beneath his foot that you are supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to be subservient and only bound to him even when you're in a high position. Even though Haman didn't give Mordecai that position that he's in. You see what I'm saying? This is the pride of the damn white man. This is why the Lord's going to destroy the white man off the damn planet. Specifically, that damn Amalekite. He is going to be totally wiped the hell out. But the other ones, they're going to get it also. The other races of Edom is going to get the same damn thing also. But this group is going to catch it even more fiercely than even them, if possible. And he thought, scorned to lay hands on Mordecai alone. For they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Oh man, now check this stuff out. Now all the princes and all of that, you know, of all of these different kingdoms came together and they like, look Haman, look who he's of. He's of this same damn group of niggas that we hate. You see what I'm saying? That's what they were saying pretty much. He's of that same group of niggas that we can't stand. So now, you know, now they're fully confident that Haman's going to do something about this. You see what I'm saying? For they had showed him the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people. Oh wow, look at this. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. Now, think about this. Now, what's going on here? There's not a physical natural disaster going on. It's not earthquakes or any of that. Because these disasters also happen by policies and laws that are passed. Notice, there's no earthquakes going on right now. You see what I'm saying? No earthquakes going on. No hurricanes going on. No tornadoes going on. You know, none of that's going on right now. But what you do have is a disaster of policies going on right now. You have a man that's been ranked second highest man on the face of the damn planet, which is going to bring a shitstorm up on the nation of Israel. And their laws are diverse from all people. neither keepeth they the king's laws. You hear this? Now, think about this today. Who are the chief people that accuse black people, black Hispanics and Native Indians, through the media? Let me give you a clue. Out of all the races of Esau, who controls the media? Think about it. Look at Warner Brothers, right? What nation is Warner Brothers of? What stock of Esau is Warner Brothers? They're Jewish. They're Amalek. They're Agag. Therefore, it is not for the king's prophet to suffer them. Now, he's saying the king shouldn't allow them. You see what I'm saying? He's saying that the king shouldn't allow them. Whenever there's any type of diversion, because, see, that group operates that kind of way. All they need is the attention in one area. You see what I'm saying? And they'll do something to us in the other area. Just like, say, for instance, with Moses in the wilderness, right? They used us, looking forward, and what did they do? They smoked the hinder parts of us to try and turn us back. You see what I'm saying? They love to direct our eyes one way so they can do something the other way. You see what I'm saying? It's like a magician trick. And you ever notice something? Look at a large portion of your magicians, right? Large portion of your famous magicians like David Copperfield and and multiple others, right? What nationality are they? They're Jewish. Because before they were the Jewish people, they were, after they were brought down, they were known as gypsies and magicians and stuff like that. That's part of the way that they made their money. You see what I'm saying? By tricking and stealing, just like it's a time where we went to war with the Philistines. And what did they do? They seen our direction was on war. They were able to come into our place, to come into where we live and steal all the treasures that was in Judah and the treasures that was in the lands of the Philistines. Now let me read on more. Therefore, it is not for the king's prophet to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury. Now, we think that everything with the white man is about money. And that's not the truth. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, with Haman having access to the treasury, right? His thing here is not making money. His thing is not making money right here. Because anytime something goes down like this, white people lose money. Racism costs. It costs money. You see what I'm saying? But Haman is willing to take 10,000 talents of silver. Right? That's a lot of money. I mean, what that's pretty much saying is there's no, hell, 1,000 talents, just one talent. Look at one talent. What one talent, you're rich. One talent of silver, you're rich. Now imagine 10,000, you're filthy rich on one talent of silver. It's lucky. 10,000 talents of silver spread throughout all the kingdoms. That means this man wants to have us wiped out from all over the planet. Now, with us being totally wiped out, now ask yourself, how much money is Haman making there? With all of these Hebrews as being these slaves, right? And willing to produce so much money for the white man, why does he want all of us gone? To where he doesn't even get a return. With all of us gone, who the hell is he going to have to slave? Who the hell is he going to have to, where's his revenue coming? Where's his return on his investment? There is no return on that investment. Now you get to see how badly the white man hates you. He hates you to the point to where it can come down to where he just wants you gone. Slavery wasn't all about money. You see what I'm saying? With slavery not being all about money, now think about it for a second. Now, it was about, 120 million of us slaughtered in the west coast of Africa? And that's not even counting what happened with the Gadites and everything, like 77 million of them, So it's not all about money. Because they believe when it all comes down to it, because under King Artaxerxes, we had a high position in the earth. We were respected. And when it comes to it like that, the white man doesn't give a damn. He's like, man, look, he's like willing to get rid of all of us to stop us from being in any power on the face of the planet. You see what I'm saying? And you know what? He will spare no cost to do this. He will take gigantic losses to get rid of his chief enemy. And we feel a safety, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we feel a safety net in thinking that the white man is all about money. You see what I'm saying? Concerning us. We think the white man is all about money. Well, if the white man is all about money for himself, how about this? Ask yourself this question. Why don't he sit there and run why didn't he block all foreigners from coming here and take all the poor whites and give all the poor whites the businesses in the black neighborhoods and cut the Arabs and East Indians and all of them out of it? Why did he do that? I mean, it would seem like it would be more money for them, right? More money, more power, right? You see what I'm saying? Why the hell was he willing to take a cut like that? Why was he willing to sit there and take the lot that he should have given to his white family and give it to other nations and take such a major cut his damn self? You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you why. Because his main goal is in destroying you. That's what it's about. His goal is to destroy you. The white man doesn't give a damn if he had to go back to living like the damn the movie A Quest for Fire. As long as he fucks you up. Pardon my French. Long as he destroys you and he rules. He don't give a damn if he has to rule with a chisel and a stone. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't care. So there is no safety blanket. There is no safety net in the white man in believing that he's only all about his money. He's about killing you. You see what I'm saying? So now with the natural disasters and everything going on, he took that, a $200 billion loss? Yeah, he's pissed off about that, no doubt. He's mad about that. But what is he going to do with it? What is he going to do with his anger toward his $200 billion loss? He's going to take it out on you. He's going to say, they're the reason. Right there. Them niggas and spicks are the reason. Therefore, let us kill them. Finding an excuse. And he's going to have the whole world to think they are what's wrong with the whole earth. You see what I'm saying? There's an earthquake in Tibet. If there's an earthquake in Tibet, he'll convince the Tibet people that it's our fault. if there's a damn tsunami in Japan, he will convince the Japanese that it's our fault. That's why we say that everything is the white man's fault, because it really is. There's an earthquake, there's a hurricane, the hurricane that hit Florida, hit Texas and all of that. It's the white man's fault. That's what the whole story about the dragons. One was Mordecai, one was Haman. That's what that was all about. You see what I'm saying? Haman was accusing Mordecai. Mordecai accusing Haman. And let me enlighten blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians something. Because as soon as we say it's the white man's fault, they say, well, no, see, it's our fault because black on black crime. See, it's our fault because we sell drugs to each other, So it's our fault because, black man don't treat the black woman right. It's our fault. We say all of that, right? But let me enlighten you on something. No race on the face of the planet, check it and look it up for yourself. No race on the face of the planet has ever became free from the oppression of another nation by blaming themselves for the damn faults. By blaming their own nation for the damn faults of the condition that they're in, blaming their own people. Now, you want to blame somebody, you blame the Christian church. Yeah, you can blame them. You know why? Because they're in league with your enemy, and you have to separate from that Christian church. You see what I'm saying? But nobody blames their own race. You see what I'm saying? Because just like in the time of Nazi Germany, you had Jewish people that was in league with the Nazis. But at the same time, the Jewish people looked at those that were in league with the Nazis and look at them as traitors against the Jewish people. You see what I'm saying? Just like what's going on in the Arab countries today. You have Arab factions that are in league with the white man, in league with America, like the Saudis and all of them, and the other Arab races look at them as damn traitors and they can't stand them. Well, that's the way that we got to look at our traitors. We got to look at our traitors the same damn way. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about just the brother on the block with the damn pocket full of, whatever drug, K2 or whatever the hell it is now. I'm just talking about him. Look at who's justifying him in doing what it is that he's doing. Look at the leaders of that people. Look at the leaders of our people, and that'll tell you who to blame. You gotta blame the damn leaders, man. Blame the leaders. Because they are in league with the storm that's coming up on us. You see what I'm saying? They know that earthquakes and all of that stuff is going to happen. And they have purposed in their heart that when they do happen, they're not going to be there to help. Because, see, their funding is really based on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians not really not having any help. You see what I'm saying? Because if they gave us help, then how's a white man going to look at them? Wait a minute, hold on. You helping our enemies and we paid you to help us to destroy them. That's why your Christian pastors and all that disappeared during the time of hurricanes and earthquakes and all of that. You see what I'm saying? That's why they disappeared. That's why you don't see them. Because you know why? Because they don't want their house niggas and they don't want to piss off master. Because they piss off master, then they get deprived of their portion of chitlins. You see what I'm saying? Now let's go. Esther chapter 3 verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge over the business, to bring it into the king's treasury. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. You see how crafty he is? You see how slick he is? And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Now, what did King Artaxerxes actually do? He made Haman the most powerful man on the whole face of the planet. He gave him his ring and gave him access to whatever resources it was that he needed. He did for Haman what Pharaoh did for Joseph. You see what I'm saying? This is how slick and how crafty the Amalekite is. And just as evil as the Amalekites are, it's going to take a nation that is just as righteous as he is evil to combat him. You see what I'm saying? Because this war is spiritual, not carnal. To do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the written writing thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of the king Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring. Damn, this thing is going forth. This is a serious storm right here. Look at this. This thing is going forth. Now, like I said before, natural disasters certainly ain't the only damn thing that we gotta worry about the disasters of policy also. You see what I'm saying? Because this man has just made, this man is pretty much kind of he's the king right now. You see what I'm saying? And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish. Now, notice, let me mention something to you. And in this verse 13, when it says, and the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces. What is these posts? These posts is the precursor to the mailman. That's why in Greek mythology, they got the dude, the message runner, with the golden wings on his shoes. You see what I'm saying? They also worship that God. And notice another thing here. What's being pushed inside here is, Haman, he's Jewish and he's slick. What's actually, notice the book of Esther mentions time so much. The month of this, the month of that, the time of this, and the 10th day of that. Right? It's a reason for that. The Amalekites were always, one thing that they were about was times and seasons to do certain things, to attack Israel in certain ways, right? There are certain times that they didn't want to attack. There are certain times that they didn't want to attack because they were a gypsy. They were a band of gypsies. You see what I'm saying? You look into history and see a lot of their customs and stuff like that. Before they were called Jewish, when they were being called the serpent people, and they dealt a lot with times. You know what I'm saying? They dealt a whole lot with that type of stuff. To do what in this specific time. To do this because this specific time. And when it came to attacking us, right? They didn't want to attack at certain times because during certain times, the Lord brought deliverance to the nation of Israel. So they would be like, well, No, let's not do it this time, because this was the time when the Lord killed the Egyptians and saved his people. So no, let's not do attacks at this time. Let's attack, they'll be like, let's attack, at another time. You see what I'm saying? They would do things like that, and they would observe the moon, and they would observe the stars, and they would observe, they would observe a whole bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? They were real, superstitious people, or superstitious people, rather. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Stupid, superstitious people. Superstitious. That's what kind of people that they was. That's why in this right here, all of these times is mentioned so much. You see what I'm saying? Because their culture started to get meshed inside the culture of the Medes and the Persians, and started even to get meshed, even among us. Because at this time, the Greeks and the Macedonians were looked at as being renowned. That's how Haman was able to assume the position as being the right hand of the king of all the earth. You see what I'm saying? It's the reason why he made Haman that, a Macedonian, and not a Japanese, not an Ammonite. You see what I'm saying? Not a Moabite, not some African, you know what I'm saying? Which he did move them into high positions. That's one of the reasons why they didn't know they didn't know about Mordecai, his lineage and everything, because Mordecai was among a bunch of other dark people that were princes and nobles. Because King Artaxerxes, he did kind of like what the Babylonians would do. He moved a whole lot of, people of other nations and everything, and gave them high seats inside the kingdom and high places of position. You see what I'm saying? Which is also the same damn thing Pharaoh of Egypt. He did the same thing. All right. Now, then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month. No, wait a minute, it's lucky. I'm going to go down to 13. And the letters were sent by post into all kings' provinces to destroy, here it is, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for prey. The copy of the writing for a commandment. Now see, another, just like I was just saying before, what was happening was, what was going down, they picked a time to where they thought that the Lord hadn't gave Israel deliverance. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why the Feast of Dedication, what was the Feast of Dedication? I think it's the Feast of Dedication that's so important in this. You see what I'm saying? Because the Feast of Dedication is one of them. But when they observe these times, it'd be like, damn, the Lord did this at that time. And the Lord did that at that time, so let's not attack them at this time. Just as I was bringing out before, said the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. And posts went out, being hastened by the king's commandments. And the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink. But the city Shushan was perplexed. Wow. See, he done seduced the king. You see what I'm saying? Done seduced the king of all the earth. Now, when you go back into the book of Genesis, right? And you see the serpent and how he seduced Eve, and Adam was also seduced, who was at the time king of all the earth. You see what I'm saying? You see the slickness of this animal right here? We always have to be aware of this. So now, when the earthquakes and all of that come about, we should know, wait a minute, hold on. Let's not depend upon him. This is the devil. The white man is the devil. The people that know that the white man is the devil and it's ingrained in them to know that the white man is the devil, these people are the ones that will be clinging unto their own people. Just like what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to gravitate to our own. Now, that's a natural response. That is a natural response that people should have. Is to cling and gravitate to your own in a time of peril. You see what I'm saying? Or destruction. That's natural right there. That's why every nation cleaves unto its own. You see what I'm saying? Every nation cleaves unto its own people. But what do blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do? We cry for FEMA to come and help us. You see what I'm saying? We cry for FEMA. With all of this stuff going on, talking about the FEMA death camps, and, you know, and them having furnaces, getting ready to roast niggas and all of that, even knowing all of that, we still calling up on them. You see what I'm saying? It's funny because all the FEMA conspiracies, you ain't heard much about that stuff now. A few people's talking about it, but not that many. You know, it was shouted from the rooftops at first, all over the Facebook, internet, you know, all over the YouTube and all of that. Now, with the destruction coming, you know, the floods from the hurricanes and all of that, now what is everybody? Now they're saying FEMA help. They dependent on the same devil that they know want to roast their ass to help. Wow. Ain't that something? The white man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got to learn to depend on our own. We got to, you know what? And a lot of those same Negroes is, you know, blacks and Hispanics is up on those rooftops and all that, crying for FEMA to help. I'll bet you a lot of them's done been at a campsite. Think about it, Texas, right? Texas has one of the most powerful Isupk camps in the whole country. So, with that being said, you have brothers from all over Texas, because Texas is huge. They know about Isupk, Texas. A lot of these brothers, I know they done come up against the camp. They done said this and that about the camp. And they done, you know, they done did all of this. And some of them know that the Isupk got the truth, but then they dragging their feet and everything when it comes to coming in. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, I respect what you brothers do, but then they like, you know, I don't, you know, but I just don't want to do that, you know, right now. I just don't want to do that, you know. You have a lot of brothers that's like that, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you have the people that come up, you know, and black women coming up, you, MSU, such and such, you know, and wagging their heads and pointing their damn fingers and all of that, you know. So it's not a surprise why the Lord sent the hurricane to Texas. You see what I'm saying? It's no shock, you know. With the Isupk being strong in Texas like that, and you got all of these people that's forbearing from the truth and don't want to hear it, now you just got to take what the hell's coming. And a lot of those same damn people is on those damn rooftops begging and crying for the devil to help them after sitting there and rejecting, you know, the truth that they got on the damn corners in the camps from the brothers in the Isupk. You see what I'm saying? And that's a damn shame. So you got to think of it. I mean, hell, maybe some people are here now, right? Maybe some people will listen now. Because the hurricanes and stuff, the natural disasters and all that, they're going to keep coming. There was just an earthquake in Mexico. There was like 7.1 on the Richter scale. That's a devastating hurricane, devastating earthquake right there. You see what I'm saying? That's a devastating earthquake. So, with that devastating earthquake happening, now what's going on with Isupk? They crying for the white man to come help them too. But when the white man's giving you his help, he sees hunting season. Even if his own life is in peril, even if his own life is in danger, he still sees a hunting season for you. You see what I'm saying? Because the white man is a big game hunter. He'll risk his life to hunt the prey. He'll hunt you knowing that he can get swallowed up and he can face some type of calamity himself behind the natural disasters. He'll still come to hunt you. Because that's who he is. That's his nature. That is how he was made. You see what I'm saying? Just like a wolf was made to hunt. You know, a hawk, an eagle. They can't shake what it is that they do. You see what I'm saying? They can't shake that. And we need to understand this. And knowing this, I mean, hell, we know that, the natural disaster, the natural, like if you got a person, you got people on the beach, they know that a shark naturally eats meat. So what do they try and do? They try and stay away from sharks. You see what I'm saying? They try and swim in waters where sharks is not common. You see what I'm saying? They try and do that. It's a natural response. So now we know if the natural response of a white man is to kill, what should we do concerning him? We should separate from him. That's what we should do. Now, let me go on and get on to some more scripture. Go to Job chapter 38. And verse 1. Because regardless of how the natural disasters come, right? It's still by the hand of the Lord. Just like I brought out in the previous class. That's still the hand of the Lord. If the white man can make a hurricane through the HARP program, that's still the Lord's hand doing it. You see what I'm saying? Because there is no power but of God. Right? Then, regardless of whether it's done through science or whatever the hell the damn case is. You see what I'm saying? If you was stranded, if you was in another country, you wanted to make it to the Passover, right? And you hopped on that white man's plane. You say you were in brothers and sisters that was in Britain, in the UK and all of that. They caught planes to New York for the Passover, right? You can't say that was the white man's will that you made it to the Passover. You see what I'm saying? Even though there is his technology with the plane, the fly, and all of that, it was still the Lord's doing to make a way that he would be able to make a damn airplane so that you could fly your ass to the Passover. You see what I'm saying? Either way, it's the Lord doing it. Now, let's go to the scriptures. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Now think about this for a second. At this time, the Lord is heated at Job. You see what I'm saying? He's angry with Job at this time, and he spoke to Job out of the whirlwind, right? But notice something. He didn't destroy Job. He could have easily sent the whirlwind and tore Job the hell up, just like what happened with so many brothers and sisters in the hurricanes and all that. You see what I'm saying? But he spoke to Job out of the whirlwind. With the hurricanes and tornadoes, guess what? The Lord is speaking to the nation of Israel out of the whirlwind. Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? You know, now the Lord's asking Job this because the Lord, of course, allowed Job to undergo all of these plagues. All of these things happened to Job, right? Now you got brothers and sisters who, you know, it's like, well, if the Lord is, you know, if the Lord is good, then why the Lord allowing the earthquake? Why is he allowing the hurricane? Why is he allowing so many people to die? Why is he allowing this? Why is he allowing that? The Lord's getting ready to give Job the same day. The Lord has the same answer for you as he gave to Job. And he's going to ask Job these questions, and guess what? You people that's criticizing the Most High for all the disasters and everything that's hitting the earth, he has the same thing for you. That's why I love this. I love this chapter right here, you know, when the Lord finally starts to answer Job. Because this answers a whole lot of questions. Well, God loves us. Why did he allow the earthquake? If God loves us, you know, why is it the hurricane? Why is there so much death and famine on the earth? God loves us, you know, that old Christian garbage. Because you have a whole lot of people that even claim to be, you know, Israelites and all that, remember the Israelites and all of them, you know, that are starting to ask this question and all of that, and they shifting themselves to being atheists. And now you got Israelite atheists running around. Okay, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins like a man. This is what the Lord's telling Job. Put on your strength. Get your butt up. For I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. Where was thou when I laid the foundation of the earth? Where the hell was you at? This is what the Lord's saying to Job, and this is what the Lord's saying to your ass right now. Declare if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measure thereof? If thou knowest, or who has stretched the line upon it? Because the Lord speaks like a black man. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Lord talks. Where was you at? Nigga, where was you at when I did all this? You see what I'm saying? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Because they seen that the Most High finished his work and that it was good. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord's saying, you know, if I send a hurricane, you know, or an earthquake upon Mexico, we have to understand that the Most High is all wise. He understands everything. He knows exactly what he has to do and when he has to do it. He's the one that made the sun go in a course. You see what I'm saying? Around the earth and complete it every 365 days a year. You see what I'm saying? And also, through the Lord's understanding, the Lord also knows to make the sun hot in the summertime. And even though it can shine equally as bright in the wintertime, but notice something, the sun's not as hot, right? You know why that is? Because the sun has cooler places on it than what it has. It shines at the hottest spot in the summertime, and the Lord turns the face of the sun to the cooler side during the time of the winter. That's why the sun can shine just as bright, you see what I'm saying, in the wintertime and be lit up in the fall and all of that. When it starts to get cool and everything, you start to put on a jacket, he can make the sun shine just as bright. You see what I'm saying? Which is the sun still set at the same distance as it is in the summertime. It's not like the sun moves back, you know what I'm saying, to make everything cooler and all of that. It's not doing that. You see what I'm saying? It runs its course, its same course. You see what I'm saying? Now, what happens is the Lord turns another face of the sun that's not as hot It's cooler, but shines as bright. You see what I'm saying? And when it shines as bright, but it's not as hot, it causes it to get cooler on the earth in its season. You see what I'm saying? Now, how the hell are you going to sit there and question somebody that has that kind of understanding? So now he understands when he brings the earthquake to Mexico, which a whole lot of Mexicans are not trying to hear this truth. You see what I'm saying? A whole lot of Mexicans is still in love with the white man, and also they in love with working and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They in love with just where they're like, well, I just gonna work. I just want to work and drink my beer, drink my cerveza, and go and, you know, they just want to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they're not worried about the truth. They just want to live this passive life. You know what I'm saying? Serve the white man, get your little, get your little money, buy your whores. You know what I'm saying? Drink your cerveza. You know what I'm saying? Do your math, whatever drug it is that they doing at the time, and only coast through life like that. That's how Isupk lives. You see what I'm saying? Isupk lives a life of coasting through life. He'll till the ground, right? He'll go till the ground. He'll work. He'll produce, the fruits and crops. Make the white man filthy damn rich. As the scripture said that he will be a servant unto tribute. But this is happening when the Lord is saying, wake up. Wake the hell up. You see what I'm saying? And also, too, they also have a hatred, for the African American. You know what I'm saying? The bulk of Isupk have a hatred for the African American. Screw them. See, you already been niggers. Screw them, Holmes. Them niggers. I don't mess with niggers. They'll mess with Esau. You see what I'm saying? They'll have them a white woman, and they'll have, some old white man that they'll call, that he'll be like a patriarch and all of that. They'll look at him as with honor. You see what I'm saying? Look at him with honor and all that. He Blanco, or they look at him with honor and respect. This old damn Edomite that did nothing but use their foremothers as damn sex slaves. You know what I'm saying? They'll look at him with high honor. You see what I'm saying? So now, the Lord got to hit you with that boom. Now you got to speak. Now you got to say, hey! You see what I'm saying? Now you got to do that. He was talking quietly at first. He was like, come on back and come on into this truth. Come on back home. He sent the prophets out. You know what I'm saying? All throughout America, you got Mexican brothers, doing classes. You know what I'm saying? Mexican brothers that are, teaching in Spanish. You see what I'm saying? But, a lot of Mexicans, you're like, well, that's cool in our homes, but, okay, but I got to go to work. I got to go to work. Now the Lord got to say, wake up! Boom! Now you got that 7.1. You see what I'm saying? That's how the thing works. Now everybody's in, disarray now. They're like, oh, what the hell just happened? What's going on? What the hell happened? Now the Lord, he had to speak that way. So now somebody can listen now. A lot of times in our lives, it do take a boom, man. It take a boom sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The Lord have to speak to us in power, for us to be like, whoa, let me snap the hell out of this. You know what I'm saying? And start to pay attention. As we go back to the scriptures, for all these skeptics out there, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying before, the Lord has all of these questions for you. Who hath laid the measure thereof? If thou knowest, or who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof hastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it brake forth, as if it had an issue out of the womb? The Lord set the boundaries for seas and all of that. Through his understanding, he measured a line. That's one of the reasons why you ain't supposed to give yourself shape-ups and line-up. Because, see, the Lord made everything with a border. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you sit there and want to make your own border to things, right? Now they cause us trouble. You see what I'm saying? When you sit there and you want to line yourself up, hit yourself with that razor and get it all clean and all of that. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, now you're itching around here. You see what I'm saying? Now you itching around the same place where you got that line up at. Now you scratching your head. You know what I'm saying? Now your head is raw. Now your head has got, you got little red marks and all of that, and some little open spots where now you got blood. And behind you doing that, technically it makes you unclean. You see what I'm saying? Now, you got, because you got open blood going there, right? And you also open yourself up for infection. You see what I'm saying? And you get that infection, now you're real unclean. That's why a lot of brothers, got that in the growths in the back of their neck. You know what I'm saying? And they say, oh yeah, that's from using dirty clippers and such and such. Partially true. But the other thing is, you shaping yourself up with them. That really come from them damn razors for real. You see what I'm saying? Your clippers shouldn't be so sharp that they're like razors. Your clippers shouldn't be that sharp. You see what I'm saying? When they get real loud, now what it's doing is making open sores on your neck, on the back of your neck. And that's where them growths come into play at. Like what Forrest Whitaker used to have on the back of his neck. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the curses when you go into Deuteronomy 28. When it says I should smite you with the emerald and the scab. The emerald is anything that's cyst-like, regardless of whether it's hemorrhoids or it's tumors, cancers, you know what I'm saying, or growths, keloids, all of that stuff. All of that stuff is on the same lines as the emerald. All of that. That's one of the curses in the Bible. And when you sit there and cut that clean shape up in the back of your neck with that damn razor, and you can potentially get them growths in the back of your neck, which a lot of brothers do, and you have to have them surgically removed, now you know you did something wrong. You see what I'm saying? And in a lot of cases, you can end up getting like ringworm and stuff like that too. You see what I'm saying? You get an infection, you get fungus, you can get fungus infections and all of that. You can get all type of infections. One of the things that you got to understand, even if you don't know certain sins, look at the repercussions that it causes. You see what I'm saying? That's how people that don't know the Bible are taught. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the ways that they're taught. It's a scripture that said, he who heeds the reproofs of life shall remain among the wise. Which that means also, too, if you're a person that ain't got the Bible, you know what I'm saying, that don't really know the Bible that well, you know some of it, look at the actions and the repercussions that come behind what it is that you're doing. You can also learn that way before you have somebody to come and teach you these scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Once somebody come with these scriptures, now you can have a completeness on what it was that you formerly known, because the Lord will show you things in your life, right? Like he's shown some brothers that hanging around white people. You see what I'm saying? You think this is good, right? You don't know the Bible, but you got these white friends. You see what I'm saying? And every now and then, these white friends is vexing you with racial things, racial jokes. Because they think in their mind that you believe that your friendship to them is very, very important. So now when they see that you think like that, now they can open you up to jokes. You see what I'm saying? And these jokes are vexing the hell out of you. Even though you're trying to play it off. Now, the person that's not heeding the reproofs of life, he'll sit there and say, well, he's going to try and persevere and try and rise above racism and be like, I'm going to hang in there regardless of what they say. I'm gonna, whatever they say, I'm gonna prove to them that I'm not like other niggas. That's a person that's not heeding the reproofs of life. And that person will not remain among the wise. He'll be thrown in the damn potter's ground among the fools. You see what I'm saying? But that brother that sat there and be like, well, damn, I heard that, the white people hate us perpetually, and damn, and they cracking jokes on the nigga, they, joking on the nigga, they throwing racial jokes. And these people are not like me, you know what I'm saying? These people are not like unto me. We are different. I can't deny that these are different people. And that brother starts separating himself from them white people and starting to want to learn things. Like, why is it like this? Why is this? Such and such a... That man has the potential of remaining among the wise. You see what I'm saying? That man has the potential right there. If he keeps on going in his path like that and keeps on asking those questions, you know where it's going to end up leading him? If he stays on that path, that's going to end up leading him to the ISUPK is what it's actually going to do. And that will be a man that will remain among the wise. Okay, now let's go into some more scripture. When I made the clouds, the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors. Woo! Check this out. The Lord's letting us in on some deep knowledge right here. Let me go back up right quick. Let me see what time is looking like. I got a nice amount of stuff to cover in this. All right. Now, let me go back up to verse 8. Now, check this stuff out, It's the Lord revealed a lot of secrets, even though he was checking Job. He was still teaching Job and still endowing Job with much knowledge. As we go back to the verse 8. Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it break forth as if it had an issue of the womb. Because when a woman have an issue of the womb, what is it called? Uncontrollable bleeding, right? When I made the cloud the garment thereof. Man, what did the Lord do? Because the Lord set the sea, and then he brought the clouds as the garment. You see what I'm saying? He made the waters from, the waters from below and the waters from above. You see what I'm saying? As when we go back into Genesis, the Lord is just releasing so much knowledge inside this, right? It says, when I made the cloud the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors. Wow. So that means that the seas have a boundary that we can't see. You see what I'm saying? And when the Lord releases the bars and doors, just like if you got if you got a room full of water, and it's like these airtight doors, right? To where the water can't get out, just like a dam. You know what I'm saying? That's where the whole concept of the dam come from. Now, when the dam gets released, the flood waters come, boom, and they transgress the border that was given to them by those doors. Well, the Lord has made bars and doors on the seas of all the earth. That's why the earth is covered with 75% water, but yet that 75% water has not overcome the 25% of the earth that is up on the land, because the Lord did this, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors. This is the power of the Most High right here. You see what I'm saying? So you cannot question this power. The only thing you can do is submit yourself to it. So with some of the wisest things sometimes you can do Sometimes some of the wisest thing you can do is not ask the question. Just obey. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is only obey. You see what I'm saying? Do what the Lord say. Because the Lord was questioning Job and Job was questioning the Lord and started to justify himself. Sometimes this is what your skeptic questions will lead you to doing. And what's eventually a lot of times going to happen, the Lord going to have to hit you similar to the way he hit Job. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go to Revelations. No, let's go to Isaiah 49 and 25. Now, we'll start, as a matter of fact, I think I want to start a little bit before that. Now, it says here in 23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and queens thy nursing mothers. Because what is this stuff going to lead to? The Lord keeps sending because the Lord keeps tearing the white man up. You see what I'm saying? He keeps on destroying the white man, right? Eventually, the white man's going to come to a point to where he's going to be like, man, he's going to be just like Pharaoh. You know, he's going to be like, man, let them go. Let them go. Now, in this hurricane and everything, you have brothers and everything that suffered inside prisons and stuff like that. Right? But see, watch what's getting ready to happen here. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their faces toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Watch this. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty? What is this talking about? This is your hope. This is your hope right here. This is the hope for the brothers that's in captivity. It says, shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered in the prisons? Start keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, man. Look at the story what happened with Paul and them, with the Apostle Paul and them, when they was come together on one accord. And the Most High sent the earthquake and the prison doors opened. You see what I'm saying? Think about this for a second. Right now they got brothers, you know, that's in Islam and all of that. Allah ain't helping none of these dudes. Allah's not helping them. Buddha's not helping them. Them being a Crip, a Blood, and all of that stuff, or whatever gang it is that they're affiliated or in, that's not helping them at all. They can't call on none of those powers to be delivered. You see what I'm saying? But what they can do is call upon the Most High. They can call upon the Most High, and the Most High can fight the battle of your enemies. It says, shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith the Lord, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children, and I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh. This is what it's saying right here. Now think about this for a second. Pray that this happens right here. Pray that when the hurricanes and the earthquakes hit, right, that the Lord goes to war for you. He goes to battle for you, and instead of you starving, the enemies that hate you starve. The Lord turns that thing right around backwards, just like he did in the time of Esther. What did the Lord do? He turned it around backwards. The decree that was sent out against us, the Lord turned that thing backwards and turned it up on them, and their ass was destroyed in all the provinces where we were supposed to be destroyed at. Right? So now, with the natural disasters and all of that hidden, which, you know, and the policies and all of that going forth that are meant to destroy us, and you brothers in the prisons that want deliverance also, you know, that are being pinpointed for destruction among your enemies, what you do is you start getting these scriptures and start, you know, building up in the scriptures, and start building up your faith in the Most High and gathering your brothers and sisters together, you know, and do what you can do to be in the ISUPK, even though you locked down. The Lord said, I am the Lord, I change not. The same damn thing that he did for the apostles during that time when he sent that earthquake and opened the prisons, the Most High can also do this thing for you. You see what I'm saying? Because we're at a time of faithlessness right now. You know what I'm saying? Our whole nation has the least faith that it's ever had in the whole history of us even being a nation. That's why we're perpetually in slavery all the damn time. You see what I'm saying? But the Most High is given an opportunity. He's like, he can to where he step up the back and prove that he is the God, you know what I'm saying, over all the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that he is the deliverer of the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? And just like he did for the apostles, he can also do the same thing for you. Start to build up inside these prisons. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh. Because, see, they trying to oppress you to starve you. The Most High said he will turn that thing around and starve their ass. And guess what? And you'll be fed. Just like during the time of the Egyptians. They set out to do all of this evil stuff to us. But the Most High brought us to safety and started to tear their asses up. We had light. They had darkness. We had food and drink. They had famine and were parched with thirst. You see what I'm saying? And they were even thirsting after another fashion. They was even thirsting spiritually and physically, and they can feel both. You see what I'm saying? They can feel both. Even if they had drunk some damn water, they would still been thirsty. You see what I'm saying? And they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. Damn, look at this. Because they're going to be drinking, just like they say in the wilderness or whatever, how you have Edomites that's drinking snake's blood. That's one of the hunting tactics that they, when they out there in the wilderness, survival tactics that they have is to kill a snake and drink the snake's blood. But see, what they going to do when they too weak to catch a snake? You see what I'm saying? When they too weak to catch a snake, and that snake has more of a chance of biting and just killing their ass right out than them catching it. Now, they're going to be killing each other and drinking the blood out of each other, trying to sap some type of water in that person's blood, because, see, blood has water inside of it. You see what I'm saying? Just like the earth is 75% water, our blood also is 75% water also. So they will be killing each other, drinking the blood so that they can filter the water from out of the blood from each other and not die of thirst. Fulfilling this prophecy right here in verse 26. And they shall be drunken with their own blood, meaning also they will be driven to madness. You see what I'm saying? That'll be a mad sight. See a nigga cut another nigga's, Edomite, rather cut another Edomite's jugular vein and slap his face to his neck just like a vampire and start to and start to gulp the blood, just so he can survive and he don't die of thirst. You see what I'm saying? That's the position that they want to put us in. So let's seek the Most High. Let's start keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, so the Most High can sit there, take that same damn decree that they got for us, against us, to make us devour up one another, and he blows it back upon them. You see what I'm saying? Let's do that. All right. Now, trumpets. Let's go into Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In this 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation, a holy gathering, a holy get-together, means a separate get-together, right? Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, On the 10th day of this month, okay, now we have the atonement, but before the atonement coming up is the Feast of Trumpets, the memorial of blowing of trumpets, right? It's the memorial of blowing of trumpets. Now, trumpets are also used to, signify different, events, different things that's going down, right? Like, you have a trumpet of gathering, of all the nation being gathered together, right? You have all the priests will blow the trumpet. And the trumpet would always have a sound to it. You see what I'm saying? Declaring what's going down. Like, you have the trumpet for the feast. You have the trumpets, for us assembling together, right? And these trumpets weren't any kind of trumpets. These trumpets were made out of silver, right? They were made completely of silver and formed and shaped out of the sterling silver. What we call sterling silver today. And depending on what was going on, that was projected from the inside of the person, from his spirit. Just like when you take a deep breath and you bring that breath from the pit of your stomach and blow it out. You see what I'm saying? Like if a dude's shouting, you can tell whether he's angry or he's shouting or whether he's happy. Well, it was the same thing when a person blew that trumpet. You see what I'm saying? When a person blew that trumpet, you could tell what was being projected, what's his spirit coming with. Whether it's a trumpet for assembling of the people together, a trumpet for the feast, or it was a trumpet declaring war. You see what I'm saying? And everything is warfare. You at a war, right? And you were at a war earlier today of whether to keep the feast or not. That was a war right there. And you had to pretty much blow the trumpet within yourself, be like, yeah, man, I'm keeping the peace. You see what I'm saying? You declared war right then at that time. So now you're in a position to keep the peace because you conquered over that. Everything is war. You see what I'm saying? Everything is war. And that war trumpet that's blown, that is a trumpet. You know, that's what, you know how they have the term man up, right? Man up has to do with you doing what's right. You see what I'm saying? That trumpet that's being blown by that priest, and that sound that goes out, that war trumpet, is a sign for you to man up. Every time that term man up really means go to war, but the world make you think something different. Man up just means go and get a job and serve your woman and kids. You see what I'm saying? Man up just means serve America. Manning up means, you know, doing all of this stuff. You know, the white man understands, the white man has an understanding of our music. Because there's nobody that are better music players than black people. Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know why? Because our spirit is connected to it. You see what I'm saying? When a white man raps or whatever, his spirit is not connected to that in the right way. When he blows the trumpet, you got white trumpet players like, say for instance, what is it got? Herb Alpert. Herb Alpert come with some cold, you know, little cuts. He's an Amalekite. He come with some cold cuts on a damn, you know, on a damn trumpet. He's bad on the trumpet. But see, the thing about it though, his spirit, he doesn't have the spirit to move the world with his trumpet blow. We do. You see what I'm saying? And his trumpet blowing, what it actually does is it causes the world to sin. You see what I'm saying? You know, it causes, I mean, just like you have a whole lot of Amalekites and all of that be on like the jazz scene. You know what I'm saying? And they trumpet players. As a matter of fact, it's a town, you know, where my uncle and my aunt stay at. St. Mary's, Georgia. It seems like every damn body in St. Mary's, Georgia that's like over the age of 50 plays a trumpet. You know what I'm saying? Black or white. But we can't play the same song together. You see what I'm saying? There's no damn way. When our trumpet playing comes together with the white man, what it's actually doing is mingling the spirit that's in us, right, with their spirit, and it causes us to love and serve America. You see what I'm saying? Music has a deep spiritual application to it, and the white man has a very perverted understanding of it, but still, it's still an understanding that he has. That's the reason why in places like New Orleans, right? Places like New Orleans, who are the trumpet players? The trumpet players are black people. You see what I'm saying? The trumpets playing black. Every Mardi Gras, every type of big event that goes on down in New Orleans. Now, what's the spiritual reason for them doing that, right? For one thing, they killing and mistreating the hell out of niggas down in New Orleans. You see what I'm saying? And that music that they're playing, what they do is, every time they do so, if they went in and they killed 100 blacks in one damn day in some project in New Orleans, right? What they would do is, they would stir up all the musicians. And what the musicians would do, I call them magicians, yeah, which they are that too. What they would actually do is they'll come out and they'll start to blow the trumpets. And our minds will click from mourning to celebrating. Totally forgetting the fact that they just killed and slaughtered 100 black people in the projects. We would not even care. The next day or two, we'll be back up there dancing and jigging And then you'll have the Mardi Gras Indians coming out with the feathers and, all of that. And then the trumpet players coming and the dancing and little kids running out flipping and all that. Women coming out twerking. And we'll totally forget about what the hell just happened. We'll totally forget about it. Because the white man understands he became the puppeteer of our music. So instead of us manning up, we go right on to sleep and play just like little kids. You see what I'm saying? In a time where a couple of days before, our brethren just got slaughtered. Now, in ancient times, the enemy would come in and do something like that, and the priest would blow the trumpet. And that's a time for us to assemble together to see what the hell we can do to handle this damn affair. To handle what the hell just happened. Are we in the midst of mourning? The priest blow that trumpet, we assemble. Now it's time for us to do something. It's time for us to go to war now. And they done took that same spirit that will formerly make us go to war and now put us to sleep with it and make us, and make us real docile and only about playing and stuff now. You see what I'm saying? That is damn pathetic. That's horrible. That is how they've killed our spirit. That's how badly they've done our spirit here. You see what I'm saying? And then, on top of that, you got Christian Israelites. When they say, you have the white, a few years back I heard people saying that they heard trumpets. They heard trumpets and all of that, right? And I'm thinking to myself, they saying that they heard trumpets, And these are people in like fake Israelite groups and fake Christian groups saying that they heard trumpets. Well, okay, fine. If you heard a trumpet, then how'd you respond to it? So you just heard the trumpet, huh? You just heard the trumpet. You heard the trumpet that you're supposed to be assembling. You're supposed to be coming together with your nation, right? But at the same time, you say that you heard this trumpet and you did nothing but come in and told people that smiled and laughed and said you heard this trumpet. You didn't even want to find out what you were supposed to even meant of what you heard. That is, if you heard it, right? That trumpet is supposed to be to assemble this nation together in the Isupk up under Commander General Yohana. That is, if you did hear anything, that's what that trumpet is supposed to be for. But instead, you know what you're doing? You actually said that you heard the trumpet, but then at the same time, you're kicking against the response that you're supposed to have behind hearing it. Now, I'm not just going to sit there and say you just didn't hear anything. I'm not going to say that. I'm not even going to go there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to sit there and say that you was delusional or whatever. But what I am saying is, if you did hear a trumpet, then why the hell ain't you with us? You see what I'm saying? If you did, that trumpet is supposed to bring you in order. And you know in your heart of hearts that that Christian Israelite congregation that you're hanging with is not the order that's established. You know this. You see what I'm saying? For one thing, when you go back and you see the structure, you know how you had Moses, and then under Moses you had Aaron. And then under Aaron you had the elders. Up under the elders you had, the order was laid down. And your Christian pastor is only inside there. For one thing, your Christian Israelite pastor or your Christianite, whatever the hell he is inside there. He's teaching you about the Feast of Trumpets. And he's telling you, to assemble, right? But what he got you thinking is talking about assembling in your fake Israelite congregation, right? Where Dylan Ruth can easily walk up in and blow your ass away. You see what I'm saying? He's got you thinking it's about that. He's got you thinking that it's about, you coming together and joining, you coming together with white people inside this Christian mixed congregation and all of that, which any one of them could get a wild hair up their behind and decide to blow you away. A black man coming into a church and killing 20 people, killing 9, 10, 50 people, that's not the spirit of a black man. Black men don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? Black men don't come into a damn church. I've never heard of a black man coming into a church and blowing away a whole bunch of damn people. If a black man come into the church and shoot any damn body, it's because a pastor was screwing his wife. Or some deacon was screwing his wife. Or his child was molested inside that damn Christian church. And he don't even go to the church, but he knows that his child was molested inside, or his wife was being screwed by somebody inside the damn church. So now he's going and he's cocking his 9. And he's like, man, and he's going in there and he's direct with who the hell he gonna kill. He ain't coming in there to kill everybody. You see what I'm saying? He ain't coming in there just to randomly go and shoot a bunch of people to prove a point. He's like, man, I'm gonna get this nigga, man. This nigga's, you know, he's with my wife and everything. He's like, man, I know that. I seen them together. And he's like, man, I'm going. And he's pacing and everything. He in the house with the damn gun. And he's losing his damn mind. And he's thinking in his mind, he's like, you know, he's like, he's thinking, you know, now I do love the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I do love God and everything. But I know that, you know, this God ain't with that. God ain't with that. I know God ain't off of that. So you see what I'm saying? So that the judgment, you know, even him going in and blowing away the pastor or whatever is not right. But at the same damn time, just like the scriptures say, you run around with a man's wife, you know, there's not going to be nothing you can pay him off with. You see what I'm saying? You sitting there taking that man's wife, you know what I'm saying, and having sex with her, you know, and doing whatever the hell, and then turn her against him, and that's double pissing him off. So now he goes up in there in a rage and insane, you know what I'm saying? He goes up in there and blows that damn pastor away. He's not coming in to shoot everybody. You see what I'm saying? He might even speak to a couple of people when he, hey, brother, hey, sister, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? And then he's like, yeah, you know, where Reverend Wright at? Where Reverend Wright at? You know, and he's kind of, you know, and he's all, you know, he's like that and everything. And then he finally, yeah, Reverend Wright, he's back in the kitchen, you know. And he's like, all right, thanks, man. And they know something's wrong with him, but the Christian church at the same time, they like, you know, they don't, you know, they really don't pay attention to much. So now he goes back there and he shoots the man who he intends to kill. And maybe his wife too, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no. But see, the white man, on the other hand, he was sat inside the Christian in one of these fake Israelite groups with a damn yarmulke on and a prayer shawl, right? And he'll be calculating. He ain't got to sleep with his wife, none of that stuff. You just a nigga. And he done came out there and just said, you know, he just said, Yahushua. That's all he got to do. Or Yahuwah. You know, that's how they said Yahuwah. He just said Yahuwah and the Jews is black. You know what I'm saying? That's all he have to say before a fake Israelite group will allow him into their congregation because they so goddamn weak. You see what I'm saying? Now, he comes into the place. Nobody's going to search him. Nobody's going to look at him weird or any of that stuff. Now, he takes out his 2 pistols and just starts blowing every damn body away. But you know what, though? Sister so-and-so, she heard the trumpets a few nights before. You see what I'm saying? She heard the trumpets a few nights before. But it's awfully funny, when she heard those trumpets, she should have been asking, or a brother rather, you know what I'm saying, should have been asking the pastor, you know, where should we be going as a nation? Because in their mind, they know he's not the person to lead, because they know he's not strong enough. They know that. In the back of their mind, they know that their pastor is not fit to lead a whole nation of people. They know. So they're not even asking him the question, where should we be? You know, where should we be at? Where is this nation really gathered at? You see what I'm saying? And being with the nation being gathered, you know, anytime the trumpet was blown, people had to get in order. It wasn't like the trumpet get blown and everybody just be in some come together as a pile up under the pastor and everything, and no rank order, none of that. Everybody just come, hey, how's it going? Hey, hashandalabanda. You know what I'm saying? They just coming like that. That's not what the trumpets is about. The trumpets is about you getting your ass in order. You see what I'm saying? And it's also for war. The trumpets are also for war. Now, let me give some scriptures on that. Go to Numbers chapter 10. Numbers chapter 10 and verse 9. And now pay attention to this, all Israel, pay attention to this. And if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, here it is. Then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall remember before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. So all of those trumpets and all those trumpet players and all those people that got the trumpets all throughout New Orleans and Haiti do the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You should be taking your trumpets and instead of using it to help the white man in his damn kingdom, use it to help your people. You see what I'm saying? Because the white man is using your trumpet talent to abate the spirit of war. You see what I'm saying? He's using it to totally kill that spirit of war right there. So that you don't give a damn of what happens to your people. But let me read this. I'm going to read this again. And if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you. Are we at war right now? Yes. We're at war. You see what I'm saying? We are at war right now. Then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God. And ye shall be saved from your enemies. Also in that day your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before the Lord, before your God. I am the Lord your God. So what is your trumpets supposed to be meant for? Should none of them damn trumpet players be sitting there and taking those trumpets and playing them before white people. They should never be doing that. I don't give a damn how much money they offer you. Those should be used for your nation. You see what I'm saying? They should be used for your nation, not to be used against your nation to abate the spirit of war that's in your people. This is the reason why they continually rule over us all the damn time. This is the reason why right here. Your musicians come out, Stevie Wonder, and all of them, at a time where you should be separating, they're coming out to make sure that you don't. They're not coming out to help a damn thing. They come out we are world hunger. And they bring all the musicians around, right? While they sit there and those same damn musicians give to Africa and don't give a damn thing to you. Don't use any of those resources to help you. You see what I'm saying? But they trumpet for the white man all damn day long so that the white man is looked at as this great thing all up on the earth. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, let's go to, what is it? Jeremiah 49:2. We're going to start at 49:1. Concerning the Ammonites, Jeremiah 49:1. Concerning the Ammonites, thus saith the Lord, hath Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Why then doth their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities? Also, too, let's go on a little historical lesson with this, right? When the Ammonites was at war, when they went to war during the time of Jeremiah, lived, when the 10 tribes was taken captive, they was already taken captive at this time under the Assyrians. And they were dispersed all throughout, places out Babylon, Assyria, so on and so forth. Ammon was one of those lands, right? Now, with Ammon being one of those lands, and it said here, why then doth their king inherit Gad? So what does this mean? This means that the Gadites were in the land of Ammon. The Ammonites are the Japanese today. So now, when they talk about the brave samurais, right? They talk about the brave samurais and how valiant they fought and how brave they were. You know why they were so damn powerful? Because they had Gad with them. That's why Yakuza names, Japanese Yakuza names, sound similar to Gadite names. Because the tribe of Gad was also in the land of Ammon. Gadite names are like Running Foot. You know what I'm saying? And then Yakuza name, Crouching Eagle. You see what I'm saying? Japanese Yakuza mob bosses and everything have names just like that. Names just like what the Gadites have here. You see what I'm saying? The Gadites, Red Cloud. The names that compiled of two things like, say we're in this Running Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Strong Buffalo, something like that. Yakuza names, his name might be, Fighting Tiger. You know what I'm saying? Because Gad was in the land of the Ammonites, right? Now, and his people dwell in his cities. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites. Means the Lord was pretty pissed about this. You see what I'm saying? Rabbah was one of the chief places, chief cities in the land of the Japanese. It was the Ammonites. Right? But they're not in that place anymore. They were misplaced. You see what I'm saying? That's why they're in Japan. You see what I'm saying? Because there was a prophecy concerning that, which I'll go over that in a future class. But Rabbah had, Rabbah had the Gadites in it, you know what I'm saying? And the Gadites and everything was used for war. And this made the Lord pretty angry. You see what I'm saying? They was used for all whatever service it was that they was used for. That's why it says here concerning the Ammonites, said the Lord, hath Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Why then doth their king inherit Gad and his people dwell in his cities? Just like the white man has inherited Gad in this land today. Because see, everything that belonged to the Gadites, the white man has become an inheritor of it. Just like Gad ain't got no sons to inherit everything. You see what I'm saying? That's the same damn way them funky-ass Japanese was trying to use the tribe of Gad also. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that was his heir. It means that in one of these days, a matter of fact, before the Gadites came to this land and everything, right? When they was on them ships, going from the eastern part of the world coming over here, they also left with substance. You see what I'm saying? Just like when we was delivered from the Egyptians, how we came with much riches that came from the Egyptians, we're the same damn thing here. That's why it says here, and this is also a future prophecy because these prophecies are also perpetual. They're not just for one time. You see what I'm saying? They also going to get our inheritance up out of the Japanese also, because you know what? You still got Gadites in Japan right now. And when the Lord delivers them up from up under them funky ass Japanese, just like when they're going to come up with much substance. They're going to strip those damn Japanese back. You see what I'm saying? That's why it says here, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Think that was the last? You think that was the last? You think that was the last marshmallow roast? Hell no. Then shall Israel be heir to them that was his heirs, saith the Lord. Enjoy this Feast of Trumpets. Get that, get you strong, and think about the stuff that we just went over. Think about this war, when the trumpets is being blown. How, all of this is about war, how all of this is about, bringing this nation together and in rank order up under the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, who is the only group that is equipped to lead this nation, because the Lord has always chosen the radical group that understands warfare, while everybody else wants to abhor that spirit and be like, no, it ain't about that. No, it's just about us coming together. While they want to sit there and abhor that war spirit, when you go all throughout the scriptures, you're going to find that the Lord has always chosen the warriors who understand warfare to lead his nation. And the Bible says, I am the Lord, I change not. We are the Isupk coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. Pay your tithes, support the men that is laboring in this truth. Start to get an in-depth understanding of the Feast of Trumpets and all the feasts in this Bible. Start to understand that all the feasts and everything, and all the high holy days and all of that have to do with you separating from the white man, so that the Lord can blow that war trumpet and declare war against the white man and against all of these other nations. And with that being said, Shalom.